How are we all doing today? Today we're going to be going over the Elisa Melendez podcast that she does every Thursday with Gearbox official employees. She does it with Grant Cow, I believe you say his last name, who is the combat designer, and Grammy Timonis. I don't know if that's how you say that, but he's the lead level designer. They're going to be going over things like the Iron Bear buffs that they kind of had, but they're going to be looking more into it and talking more about it, how they want to improve Iron Bear, how they're going to be adding more bank space and designated loot drops. And in this first clip, they're going to be going over basically how in the future that patches won't be like the latest patch that I had in my latest video. They won't be as drastic, and it's not going to be as extreme, which is something that is really good to hear about, that we won't have to completely redo our builds every time a patch comes out and just kind of be like, can't wait to, figure out what's next and what sucks.
Today,
I do want to mention that we digested a lot of data, and we made a big round of changes this week and some last week.
Yeah.
They will not be as drastic as this week.
Yeah.
They will probably not include many more like this until we get more data.
Right.
This is a big adjustment. We'll have to wait a little bit to digest the new set of data. So those that are worried that they go farm and then the next week.
What's next week?
Yeah, what's next week? What's next week? It won't be like that. I just want to, I don't want to dissuade you guys from farming your favorite gear. It will be a little bit less iterative and more just kind of like, hey, we wait for the next set of data.
In the next clip, they're going to be going over how the Iron Bear's health got a buff and how they want to have more fixes with Iron Bear. I personally believe the Iron Bear health buff was not what it needed. All the pets already have a decent amount of survivability, or companions I should say. So they needed more damage, and if they would have given them a damage buff, I believe it would have changed the gameplay a lot more, because even though if you buff their health, if you watch the gameplay right now, you see that if my companion, even my Digiclone, were to spawn right there in the middle of that, he would probably die. So that health buff doesn't really do much, and it's nice to know that at least Grant plays as an Iron Bear build, and he understands what's going on with it, and he wants to be able to make it that Iron Bear has more of capability within a build, so he's going to kind of cover what he thinks he wants to get done, and does let us know in the future that Iron Bear may have an actual placeholder.
Yeah, those got their health, their base health increased by a little bit because we wanted to provide a little bit of survivability. We know it's not the end-all, be-all change. And I can also talk about this a little some more too.
Yeah.
The health change was just a natural increase in the base health because we wanted to, for just in the main game.
The whole game.
Yeah, the whole game. Make sure that you don't get chunked immediately right when you use your action skill.
Right.
But on top of that, we are looking at other ways that can't be addressed through a lever or a small number change. We're looking at the effective health of all the companions, and we're looking at ways to address the amount of damage incoming in general.
Right.
So a number change won't help the companions if they're getting attacked by 10 enemies in Mayhem 3, right? Like no number change will address that. That's a lot of damage going out. But what we can do is look at other ways that we can, through a larger fix, just coming down the road, say these are things that we can do to make sure they take less damage, or avoid that kind of damage, or have players have more control over making sure that they take less damage.
Mitigate it.
Yeah. And in addition, we have things coming down the pipeline that I think players will be excited for too. I forgot to tease one thing when we were talking about companions. As a Moe's player myself.
Oh, there were mad people talking about Iron Bear.
Yeah, as a Moe's player myself, I would like to be an Iron Bear more often. And I don't have exact details to tell you yet, but I want to be an Iron Bear more often. And for those that are like me who want to be an Iron Bear more often, things are coming.
Now that's all fine and all, but I think what's more important that's coming up is the bank space increase, and how this is going to be great for the fact that there are millions of guns in Borderlands, and I personally have always been on the end of not having enough space and having to, I was forced to make other characters even though I really only play Zane. But I made the other characters that they could carry other guns for my Zane in reality, or just to have them and hoard them all together. I wish it would come out a little bit quicker. They're saying they're taking their time on it, probably because they're going to have to add performance increases to basically make sure that the vault is safe to put all your guns in, because having 200 guns in your vault may have performance issues. So I think it's going to be a good thing for the community just to get this out and done correctly and not ruin the game even more. But it is good to hear that they do know this is an issue.
In progress. Officially, we're looking at investigating the best way to do it. Obviously, we got to care about stability. We have to care about making sure the bank continues to be secure and a safe place to put your gear. We believe all the fixes we put in for that have been successful so far. But we are in the process of looking at the expansion of the bank. Don't have a timeline, but it's officially going to happen. Once we have more of that planned out, obviously we'll let the community know, but it is coming. I just can't put a timeline on it just yet.
Perfect. Good, because I'm a hoarder, and thank you. Thank you so much.
Speaking of like targeting a chase for gear, do we want to talk about, can we segue into something, a little tip that we want to give the viewers today? With the adjustments with items and with the adjustments with all the stuff that we're making, we're also going to try to make the hunt for items a little bit more deterministic, meaning that the players will have a more consistent hunt and chase to go for. In the near future, we are working on this. This is still TBD.
Yeah, I mean, we're planning it out, we're investigating it still. But, you know, we've seen the community feedback that, you know, we have so many items in the general pool available, and you know, a lot of people are just wanting that I can go to this place and I can reliably, with enough effort, get a return on that effort, and not, you know, feel like you're just throwing darts hoping you get the item you're looking for from that person. So, you know, we're in the beginning stages of kind of looking at the pools that are there and kind of shuffling them around so that everyone can more consistently find the piece of gear they're actually looking for, and then obviously can grind it out to find the role they're looking for too. So we're just starting that, and you know, in the not too distant future we'll have a lot more.
Yeah, so you know, it's just part of the effort to make sure that we give players a wide variety of things to hunt for, and to encourage different types of gear combinations.
Oh yeah, we have to harvest these
but
things.
we have a lot of unique drops that are just in the large general pool of items, and we wanted to make sure that they have a little bit more targeted hunt towards some items, especially if they want to hunt for very specific builds or very specific types of combinations. So in regards to the boss enemies and whatnot, we're going to be looking into expanding the amount of drops that they can hold, the amount of unique drops. At the moment, every boss at the moment, or every rare enemy has like one type of unique drop, and we're looking to expanding that so that players could have a larger variety of things that they can depend on when they go and target a very specific enemy to farm.
So I could see in that last clip, they talked about dedicated loop, and how it's gonna basically help out the whole issue with everything being a world drop almost. I think it's going to make it more interesting for the community to basically be able to hunt for their weapons, make it a little bit more unique and adventurous. Next up, they're going to be talking about mayhem mode, which has an event coming up, the Halloween event, and they're going to be adding some patches to it, because mayhem mode right now is in this very odd state with the modifiers and how you have to kind of farm for them. Some people don't even play on Mayhem 3 because they don't want to farm for this, so they play in Mayhem 1, which, you know, it's decent gameplay. But I play in Mayhem 3 because of the difficulty and the increased loot drops. But it's glad that they at least see this as a problem, and it'll kind of make some longevity for it, because Mayhem mode is fun. It's just quite annoying right now when you shoot someone and they shoot all your bullets back at you and you insta-die with a flacker.
Next week, we are kicking off the Mayhem anniversary event.
Yep.
And we are making sure Mayhem is a little bit more accessible for all players. We're doing a few big changes to the Mayhem anniversary event. Stuff that I can talk about. Still work in progress, but some of the things I can talk about are we are increasing reflect chance to 100%. I'm just kidding. we're,
Grant,
we're
do
reducing.
not play with our emotions
We're,
today.
we're reducing
Not today.
reflect chance dramatically.
Not today.
We are reducing it dramatically, somewhere to a very, very low percentage, so that it is not going to be a drastically high
Oh my
number.
God. You have no idea what you just did to the Twitch and Mixer chat
sure
right
did.
now.
And no, we are reducing the reflect chance dramatically. We are also going to reduce the all weapon bullet damage penalty, and all gun damage penalty, all normal bullet damage and all gun damage penalties across the board. The goal of Mayhem is to encourage you to play different play styles, different builds, different mix and match of gear. But we don't want to penalize you dramatically if you do want to stick with your build.
Right.
So the changes that come next week will encourage you to play different styles that Mayhem does, but not discourage you so that you have to go quit the main menu or re-roll your modifiers. It's going to be drastically reduced. And in addition, for the hoarders, all anointed loot chances will increase. So getting those anointed gear, all of those will increase quite heavily. So make sure to go farm your favorite guns the next week or so, how long the anniversary event lasts, and make sure to get your favorite anointed gear.
Yep.
All right.
I just wanted to show you all these clips. I thought it was very interesting to give you guys just an idea of what's coming up in the future. You guys can see my last video for more details on the hotfixes and patch notes. There's just a crazy nerf set put into it, and I'm a little disappointed with it, especially because my main weapon was Flacker, and it did get a nerf, but with a glitch that I found out, which I'm probably going to make a video on how to basically revert all the patches and fixes and be able to have an increase in XP. And if you've been watching the gameplay, you've noticed that when I get a kill, I usually get a lot of XP per kill. So I'll probably be making a video on how to do that. Overall, thank you all for watching. I'll try to keep everybody updated as much as I can, and it means a lot that you guys watch my videos and support me. Please leave a comment, a like, and please do subscribe. I've been really trying my best. It's not a lot of content to make videos on. I'm just trying to switch them back and forth with the whole Call of Duty, Black Ops 4 deal. The game's getting kind of dead, and Borderlands is getting to that point, but I'm just kind of waiting for Modern Warfare. But overall, thank you. I'll see you all in the next video.